So much has transpired since you've embarked on your walk with Christ. Coming to a stronger understanding of things provides so much more comfort. God is stretching you in ways you never really think of through your own will, and I thank Him immensely for that. In the moment, it's a little unnerving, but did you die though? For the most part, you normally push yourself out of your comfort zone, probably once or twice within a year, and do all things that you can to avoid any unnecessary circumstances. But it's gone on a good 10 plus times with God, and you can't even be mad because being challenged is something you've always wanted and never really properly received through past bonds. It's funny how what you were looking for all the while was God to push you. He's giving clear direction and instruction on your assignment. And you think that knowing it would make it easier, but still He continues to stretch you. God has revealed so much to you, from an audible version of His voice to your purpose, and crazy enough, your kingdom spouse. I know you could have done without knowing that so soon, but hear me out. Maybe, just maybe, knowing Him is what can also be the catalyst to push you, because His level of skill is impressively inspiring. Not to say that you're in a competition with Him, but acknowledging where He is could inspire you to see how it'll look for you once you put in the work. I'm impressed with how you've grown since April, from the things you've done away with to the many firsts. You've never read one book over the span of 6 months, because most books for you require 1 to 2 days, or at most a week to read. I'm just glad that of all books, it's the Bible. Who would have known that the Bible, this entire time, was a book meant to be activated by way of the Holy Spirit, and to always be approached from a sincere heart posture? If people only knew, because most people have this misconception that you just read it, then an awakening of some sort happens. And that might just be the case for some, but certainly not all. From the time that you're watching this, I wonder how many people you've put on to what the Bible truly is. I'm still in awe that you have a relationship with God. You don't just know Him, you know Him. And you don't know of His name, but you have a real relationship. Like, you're really cool with Him. You talk to Him daily, practically all day, every day. It's wild, because you used to talk to yourself and talk your friends' heads off because you're pretty long-winded. And now you've replaced talking to all those people with God and to the people within His kingdom. But this is crazy, because you know this wasn't you a good 7 months ago. It's the shift for me. You no longer prescribe to the likes of secular music, tattooing, new age spiritual art, and practices such as yoga, meditation, chakras, astrology, and divination. Even down to the partners you choose, you've done a complete 180. Not to say that you are in relationships with demons, but your partners before just believed in God and wasn't completely submitted to the walk. It's not like you were either. We were all just straddling the fence, being lukewarm. Having 1 foot in and 1 foot out, saying we believe when our actions showed opposite. A true testament of just talking the talk but not walking the walk. But in your defense, you were technically ignorant to the importance of this because you lacked good examples growing up. I'm just thankful that He left the 99 to come for you. He could have really left you out in the world fending for yourself, thinking that all control and outcomes were by chance and through your own efforts, when in reality you did have assistance from other forces. But when you're not reliant on God's assistance, it's dangerous territory to be in. By no means is the walk meant to be easy, but life will always be filled with trials and tribulations, whether you're in the walk or not. But why wouldn't you want to walk with the greatest force of all time, holding the best bird's eye view, the am that I am, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end? You just cheat yourself not to choose that option. Submitting to Christ wasn't as hard as I thought it'd be for you, because it's not a sacrifice, it's more of a discipline. I'm thankful you are already on a journey of denying your flesh, of the things so many that are in the world are accustomed to. You've learned that over time, so many things people do within our culture are just adopted traits. We're in fact born sinners, but we don't come out the womb cursing. If more people were to identify the root cause to why they do the things they do, then it will be that much easier to uncondition from. And won't make the constant excuse to say, this is just how I am, versus I curse because I want to sound cool. I have a Napoleon complex, so I curse to appear tougher. As you read the Bible more and more, you see that self-control is a concept frequently mentioned. It's like once you have the Holy Spirit, Mr. Holy Spirit Man himself dwelling within you, it's your responsibility to protect him from the things you consume visually, audibly, the things you say and or do. How much control now do you have over your meat suit? And no, you're not perfect, but just be aware that this world is more spiritual than physical. Because the spiritual is an illusion, and not everything's an attack. Sometimes you just get in your own way. Discipline within your mindfulness is key. What do you have to lose being obedient to God? So far, through your obedience, you've been blessed. I love how you give at least anything a chance, because you can't knock anything until you try it. It's better to take assessments through self than leaning on what others have experienced to test its validity. I'm thankful you're giving it a shot. I pray that more people over time give it a shot, because what's the worst that can happen? You gaining eternal life doesn't sound at all bad to me. Now that the assignment is clear, it's easier to navigate in the right direction. And that's the most beautiful part about the walk with Christ. The direction is clear, and although I'm blinded by how bright the destination looks, I trust that I can be blindfolded and the Lord won't lead me astray.